So today I want to give you a little tour of the containers down at Miley or Harbour. So we'll go to the first one. Not much about this one. This is our fisherman's store where we keep all our dry goods, our wet overalls, generally a workshop. And then this container was our processing room and hatchery trials for the 2020 crowdfunder campaign. We actually now use it in the summer for processing on the shellfish. Increase the capacity a bit with a few extra tanks. Because now the creams as well as the oysters and mussels have been decorated. And here we've got mussels and Pacific oysters. These are decorated and ready for sale. And then, because our campaign is always on and we've raised a bit more money, we set up a dedicated hatchery container, which is good really because it's difficult to process and dispatch oysters as well as run a science lab. We have some native oysters. These are basically just in a holding tank. You can probably see they've got juvenile or spat oysters on them. Just holding them to see if we can keep them alive for our next stages. And here we have a hatchery trial. Basically there's native oysters of all different shapes and sizes, and a tank with oxygen, aeration. And we also have a easy dose feeder system, although we've done our conditioning. We're not using that currently until we get some more larvae. This is our main sort of nursery stock. Again, all native oysters. And then here we have our sort of 4 larval production tanks. Well, 3. First one is a simple system where we have oysters in the tank and we're hoping they create some larvae, and the larvae will flow out into this screen. And we have different mesh sizes. And then this is our other trial where we have native oysters in a tray at the top, and then underneath them is a load of shell. Seeing if we can get the larvae to settle. I think we're quite successful at creating the larvae. Getting them to settle is the next big stage. So hello, my name's Chris Ranger. I set up the Fowl Fishery Cooperative, CIC, Community Interest Company, in 2019, and then I went on to set up the crowdfunder SavingESTER campaign in 2020, just before lockdown. Luckily we hit our target in 2020, and our campaign is always on, so we're still accepting donations. And we've actually doubled our first target, which is amazing, and that finance revenue has helped us create a bespoke, purpose-built container hatchery, micro hatchery for the native oysters. So yeah, today we're going to show you a bit about our micro hatchery. This is really for patrons of the patreon.com Ranger Oysterman artist, mariner page where you can support our project and another few projects that I've got. The link will be in the description below. I'm also going to do some filming with a little underwater camera that I have and edit the two together. So I've kind of been talking about the different tanks. We've got 2 or 3 trials going on at the moment. We're calling them trial 4, even though they're split into 1, 2, 3, 4 different tanks. Our first tank back here is our holding tank. I can cut to that again in a minute. And that holding tank basically has our nursery broodstock that we wouldn't otherwise be able to harvest because it's a closed season. But in fact, these natives came in the processing room first, and then they came into the hatchery in April when I finished building it. So I'm going to show you a little bit. Hopefully, come to this in a minute, we'll be able to see what exactly is going on. So here are the native oysters. They're actually feeding on the water that passes through them. Native oysters are pretty good. They don't eat any other species, the larvae from any other species. Whereas a Pacific oyster will eat any larvae that passes by. Our second tank, it's the next stage, is kind of the conditioning stage, and we feed a number of oysters heavily with some shellfish diet, and those oysters have been well fed, and then we cut the feed and we increase the temperature of the seawater. The seawater is from the creek, from the estuary, right outside our hatchery here. We do filter it to 20 microns, just to get rid of any impurities in the water maybe. We don't UV it, although the UV tank stock, so the oysters have been UV'd to kill any bacteria. These are our conditioned oysters. We call our broodstock, and we've selected them as we think of males and females. There's already a video which I'll show a link to. Our third tank, again, this is the, it's kind of a holding tank, but we found that there were some oysters with some juveniles on them, some spat. We're keeping them in here just to make sure we can keep the spat alive, the juveniles alive, so when we get to that stage and before they go up the river again. And this trial here, I started the other day, and we're raising the temperature of the seawater. See the native oysters on a tray at the top of the bin. And hopefully you'll be able to see the shell further down. We've got a mixture of oyster and mussel shell. Hopefully that will give us some indication if and when we find the larvae are settling. Today being the 30th of June 2021, I've now set up the next stage. And the idea with this is we have oysters in a bin, and a flow system which, if the larvae are free swimming for the first week or two, they will end up being non-mechanically cascaded into a screen, so that we can retain the larvae. We also have a heater in the tank. We don't want the heater in with the larvae or in with the native oysters. Again, just looking at the bottom of this tank. So the temperature in this one is about 19 at the moment. But we're looking to get that up to about 25. Might take a few days to get up there, but we have a new moon coming up on the 10th of July, and that's our target date. And then looking across, we have some of the screens. Basically, we're looking at 100 micron mesh, 150 micron mesh, and a 200 micron mesh. Now, when oyster larvae is liberated, usually at about 140, 150, coming up to 200 microns. And then when they settle, they are usually 300 microns. So we're gauging the growth rate of the larvae by various screen mesh sizes. Thanks very much. Check out our next video soon. Hello, hello, good day. Hello, my name's Chris Ranger, and I set up this SavingESTER micro hatchery thanks to the crowdfunder platform. Last year, we've doubled our target so far, but we're still looking to raise funds because we have an aquaculture site and an active fishery. But today, I want to play with a bit of technology. I've got a little underwater camera, and I'm going to try and edit between the two cameras. So yeah, my name's Chris Ranger, and we're in the crowdfunded SavingESTER hatchery down at Myler Harbour. And today I want to run through a few little tank systems that we've set up just before hopefully our new moon, July 10th, coming up in 10 days time. Ready for our next trial. Hopefully we can get them to settle this time. So first of all, I'm going to step back a bit and go through the other tanks. So, there you go. Hopefully this little camera and a bit of editing will show you what I've just been dipping into. Many thanks. So, my name's Chris Ranger. I'm the proprietor and instigator. So my name's Chris Ranger. I set up the Fowl Fishery Cooperative CIC in 2019, And then in 2020 I set up a crowdfunder page